Hey everyone, OpRocks is here, and it's been a hot minute since I done a DSP video. That a lot has happened over the summer as we are nearing into the fall. So I'm doing a video to kind of catch you up to date to everything you probably have heard and probably need a bit of a refresher as we reach ourselves going through this month. As Phil continues his hardcore gaming season, although he's been skipping games and playing games people don't want and milking game people didn't ask for. That let's kind of catch up on what's happened so far. So let's start off with June. What happened in June? That was kind of eventful. It's kind of hard to say. Nothing really happened in June that I remember. But I do remember something happened. But I guess one thing to note that was going on going into the summer was Phil playing Mass Effect, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. He was going on into his playthrough of the first game. And around later on, I think it was around July or so, it was at least around late June or so, he started Mass Effect 3 and skipped Mass Effect 2. He also, I think, going into July, was playing, or he was really trying to do as much with Fallout 4 New Vegas. Other than that, I feel like the most eventful thing I don't think that even came out of June. Outside of the obvious, Phil talk about E3 kind of thing. And, there's always a lot of mix with games. There was a lot of mix. Yeah, but mix, correct. There was a lot of mixed reception to E3, as kind of always. That I think that it was the more Phil treat. I don't know. It's just hard to say why does Phil hate E3 so much. I mean, most people don't like E3, but I feel like it seems like he just hates having a lot of attention. I guess because he hates E3 because he never gets invited to it anymore. But it's like he feels like he's so entitled to people to contact him when it comes to something like that. But I guess I should really think, oh, that's the only thing if Phil talk about E3 that year. This year, I mean. So we start to roll into July. And this begins Phil's weird purchases. So, July could be best way. This year, Phil could really be trying to avoid JRPGs and RPGs as much as possible, as Phil really hasn't had a major RPG playthrough that isn't a game that no one asks for. And if I could think of what game he did play, I'll have to actually check the release schedule a little bit. I'm doing this bit off the cuff right now. It's more just trying to do a bit of a Phil update and as well as a bit of update on what I'm up to see I'm gonna be doing the rest of the year. So I'm kinda doing this up the cuff, but I have to at least remember what playthroughs happened in what games came out in June 20. What games came out this summer. So let me try to think about it, because this one's kind of hard. Like I said, I don't. June's only major event was the whole E3 stuff. I think there were some rage. I can't remember if there were any rage quits in June. But I think at least, the only thing that had majorly happened is, the obvious announcement of the OLED. And we go into like mere months later, we know about the whole Activision Blizzard lawsuit that happens later. So, other than that, much of June was pretty not as uneventful. June, I guess you could say, was not as event. Was much of June, even though Phil was making sound like the summer was very dull or something like that, he was still doing his usual skipping games nonsense. So let me try to think this one out. I remember what games came out in June Phil did play. What did he play that I remember? Because, like I said, there was something that happened in June that I don't remember. That might be crossing my, what is probably crossing my mind. Because I think I'll, like I said, let's try. But I am doing off the cup, so I am looking up the game schedule a bit. So we'll see what I remember Phil playing, and then I will kind of catch. Oh yeah, now I remember what Phil was playing. Phil was also playing Ghosts and Goblins this year. That's earlier, but what did he play in June? Let's see. I'll remember it. Because he was playing. I don't think he was playing anything in June. Or at least. Oh, he was playing. I think he was playing Destroy All Humans. Did he? Yeah, I think he did. He played. Oh, now I remember. Oh. Okay, we got something. June he played Mario Kart Super Rush. At the same time, I was playing Scarlet Nexus, and I was having fun. That was a very fun game, and currently I am working on getting all the Yuto parts titled and uploaded. I'm currently just getting through Tales of Arise parts to be uploaded, so I hope to have at least every part of Scarlet Nexus uploaded before I return, and I will be doing the Kasane arc probably in December. I'm focusing on some other games. November is gonna be very, very tight for me, as I'll be working on playing Shipping on Tensei 5 and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. So yeah, this is going to be a very fun. So Phil played it Mario Kart Super Rush, and we will now pretty much talk the fact that Phil basically was struggling in this game. But it's the fact that he was struggling at this game is probably the most insane thing we could think of. Oh, but also, Phil also was playing Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This is really what's starting to come to the point where Phil was really starting to criticize any type of game he can. Like, we can see the negativity of him to gaming really started to show itself. As it's what he says, he's having fun, playing with other people or playing these games, having fun. We're starting to see that mask slowly come off, and he was having fun. I think with Rift Apart, he was still showing that he hasn't improved when he plays Ratchet. He doesn't do a lot of the obvious things. He doesn't do things like strafing. He doesn't try to weapon and upgrade his weapons, and it really just shows he doesn't do anything to improve himself when he plays these games. So we had Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart. I think he was playing Skyward Sword, but I think that's a July release. But we'll see. And that was just Phil, I guess, struggling Rift Apart, or he wasn't enjoying it as much. And then with Super Rush, he rage quits that game. He rage quits a children's game. Like, we have really reached the peak and valley of our day. So while Phil was struggling with that game, I was working on Scarlet Nexus, and I finished it. I would say maybe like a month or so. Like I was at least a month going in July, give or take. But those were the only like major releases that Phil played. Besides, those were like the only major release he played. In terms of that, he skipped it. He skipped some pretty good games he could have played. Like I would have loved to see him play Scarlet Nexus. He might actually try to play it when it comes to Game Pass, but I doubt it. Phil has really been trying to avoid games, so it's hard to say what he's been trying to avoid RPGs as much as possible, but who knows. So let's go into July. July, I think, had the most happen in this month. I think the best way to sum up July is it's where you start to show Phil buying things for the sake of buying stuff, try to quote unquote improve his streams. So July saw the day when Phil would get his Xbox Series X because buying a console that you would normally need to play physical games, Phil buys one that has digital games. So he gets his PS. So this sorry, I'm really trying to do this off the cuff. So July he gets his Xbox. Then we had the whole like boomer unboxing of the thing. Someone probably using Instar Rune's account, something like that. And Phil begins to play, obviously show more that he is an Xbox fan, which, in my opinion, when it comes to my thoughts of the Xbox crowd could be, I would never have an issue with them if it wasn't for kind of bias, for some weird biases they have. Also, we're switching up from my Kingdom Hearts gameplay to Tales of Arise, which I got a bit of Tales of Arise gameplay, but nothing past the second Lord that I might be showing. Spoiler reasons, I'm still working on my playthroughs right now. Also, I'm doing a lot of my records with OBS, so you probably won't notice. So, Phil begins to really start seeing Game Pass as a business adventure, but it starts to see him using it to try to have a variety of games to play, but he's not been doing, even with Game Pass, he's barely been doing much with it. So, once again, it's a wasted thing. But it's not giving any real content. He hasn't really done a Game Pass marathon in a while. Even how much he's been praising it. So it still kind of feels like we're not, even with a new console, we haven't really saw any real improvements and any real changes so far. So let's go. So Phil didn't. So after that, Phil. I can't remember. I'm 100% that Phil also got. He also got his new laptop just not that long after. But let's see, cause no, that's in. So yeah, Phil. So yeah, Phil. So here's some. So here's a bit of dates. Phil got the Xbox Series X on July 12th, and I'm 100% he also got. He also got. I think though he got his laptop and his chair in like August. So, like I said, Boomer segment. Boomer. He was busy with the Boomer segment and everything else as well. Phil just really like. If I were to say Phil, but then I think I remember something else happened. But I think that was it. He also played Skyward Sword, but he also rage quit. So not only we got Phil rage quitting a golfing simulator, but him rage quitting Skyward Sword. He didn't even finish it because obviously that game was giving him no tips, so he basically rage quit it. Also, we saw Phil still playing. He was also playing, showing that he's still an idiot. Where he was playing, Call of Duty Black Ops, and his still same like very boring gameplay, which sometimes I don't. I sometimes watch and sometimes I don't. But it's very much. Do you really? It's like do it's all the same sometimes. Oh, and Phil, one of Phil's mods unfortunately had to. Also, one of Phil's mods ends up basically like one of Phil's mods also files for bankruptcy because they've been giving money to Phil a lot. So unfortunately, they had to file for bankruptcy, which kind of shows the unfortunate circumstances that Phil's fans got to do for this guy. So July has Phil buying his Xbox as well as a fan, rage quitting games. You know, Phil's also I think started his. Phil also started his. I, but let me make sure I don't want to accidentally, be wrong about this. But did he start Fallout 4 New Vegas in July? I feel like he did. Like that was him trying to avoid long RPGs, and it was kind of that. No, that was in August, so we're not there yet. No, last update was in August. Sorry. Let me. But like I said, this is gonna be a long video, so I can make sure I got this right. But it was in June. So yeah, I did forget. It was in June he started his Fallout 4 New Vegas playthrough, which to me was Phil trying to avoid a lot of RPGs. So he was trying to use that game, and he was trying to drag that out. I feel like he was trying to drag out that game in hopes that he wouldn't have to play any long lengthy JRPGs. And even though there were some good games that were coming out, in July we also had the Wars Review that came out. New Wars Review. So he could have played a lot of good games, but he was skipping a lot of good games. Well, that depends. If I recheck, like if I recheck our, he really only played those. He only played the Legend of Zelda, but he did play Last Stop, and that went as bad as you might think it did, or at least then. But this is where we get into what I love to call the weirdest thing that Phil decided to play or find hype for. Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know what he was on about playing this game. I don't know why. It was a bunch of shit show you might think it is. Phil just flying over stuff and being boring, or at least somehow trying to be entertaining. But that was kind of the major thing that happened. We also got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered series, which we're slowly coming out on iOS and PC, and we're hoping to see a lot of all 6 games come out, and hopefully we'll see them on console next year. So while Phil was still playing Fallout as well as, really I'm trying to milk this, trying to do some of the Series X as well of these flight simulator streams, called these chill streams. August, I think, has some major stuff happen this one. Phil got his new laptop, which is a waste, and he got his new chair, which is a waste. Did August see any games that Phil played this month? Actually, no. There was not. I think only thing Phil majorly did was play Hades, and this is starts where he really starts to milk that game, because he starts to play that game a lot. Like, I don't know why he was playing it so much, but then it was. So, we come to the next thing, which is Psychonauts 2, which also came out. Now, one thing that majorly happened with that game was Phil. Like, it's like he has gone full on, like, treating like kids cannot understand these kind of games, but he can never understand half the games he plays. So he was really being very stupid with this one. So that was like the major thing. But let me check if anything. But I am checking if anything precedented happened in August. So let's have a gander of 2021 and see if anything happened. Oh yeah, Phil went back to PUBG. For a little while. I don't know why. Phil also had his gaming schedule, but I think even though he talked about that schedule, he didn't really actually. He also returned back to Fall Guys back in August, so that was a thing. Oh yeah, I think he was also talking about being mistreated. Boy, he really was trying to act like he is a victim or something like that. It's funny because he always seems he had a day off, but oh yeah, Phil did finish Danganronpa V3 at the time. Oh yeah, and there was a lot of salt with that game. Ooh boy, that's gonna be one especially his hate for one character and him not understanding the story again. And it was once again, I don't know. That's another game I wonder why he skipped it and then came back, but it was as much it was what you expect it would be, just as much of salt and him being uncomfortable to things of Japanese and stuff like that, and also women. It was what you think it was, and it basically became that. It became has a sound. So that was that. He did finish that game finally. It should have took him that long, but he did. So I don't think anything major happened in August, apart from maybe Phil getting a lot more paranoid, and I think he was starting to really begin to It's hard to say if anything to detractors or even what's going on, but Phil was kind of being what he was. So let's go into September, and I think September. But like I said, I don't think that was the only. Psychonauts 2 is the only major game he played. He was again skipping games. I wouldn't say there were any games that was major outside maybe him playing Last Stop, which is again as bad as you might think. But did he? I don't think he played Madden. I think he skipped Madden. I know that. Oh yeah, he did play Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, now another thing I remember. When Phil was trying to buy the Ghost of Tsushima game, or he was trying to get the game, it seems like it was now revealed that probably he's using Cat to buy all his games nowadays, which really starts to make you wonder if Phil is game sharing with Cat, which now leads to speculation that Phil is probably game sharing with her. So now it makes you wonder. That's probably why it seems like they're both playing the same game, probably. So that came out of left field for all of us. But nothing major happened apart from, myself. I'm still getting ready for a convention, and that was just a major thing that happened. Anyway, if you ever ask yourself how terrible was Phil's titles pre-streams, like he is like boring. But not the boring of, oh, I'm dried up, but he does make very dull and boring titles. Not like I'm dried up of Phil kind of stuff. All my talks to Phil is on Twitter, and any videos I do are very spaced in between. I had like a good number of videos during 2019, and that was because there was a lot of good moments that year. But we go into September, and September I think had the biggest stuff that happened that month. So let's go into September. September, let's go there. September, I can't say Phil, but I feel like Phil played something, but I don't. So September, we saw the whole stuff going on with Colors Ultimate, and this is also the month of the Persona 5 25th anniversary, which that drama really was people getting up in arms because they didn't understand that we'll probably get an announcement for games or teaser games at concerts or events, and that was a very silly thing. But then this story really was like Phil once again just skipping games. So instead of playing Tales of Rise, the most anticipated game this year and now has sold 1 million copies, he plays Life is Strange True Colors. It's again Phil's weird associating with walking simulator games. But the fact that Phil was playing this game, and it was a lot of terrible moments in that game. Not the game, but Phil being Phil. And I don't know if we'll ever go back to Tales of Rise, if he'll play it or not. But he also played it, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and that is going as well as you might think. He skipped some pretty good games in September, but September also saw the leaks about Phil's bank account, and we saw a lot of what we were all confirmed was true. But Phil was ignoring it and then trying to go down. This was him also the year. This was the month he was really trying to lock down everything. Like he was trying to lock down his Twitter. Now he also was making some drama. This was also a month of Kat's birthday, and this was instead of having a good birthday with his wife, he made it all by himself when it came to his whole burger fiasco, and he started to kind of lock down his Twitter more, and we really saw a lot of drama from this month. And of course, Phil did finish Canada Bridge of Spirits. He did finish that game more recently. But skipping games, I don't know why he went to True Colors. Like I'm in that minority that doesn't really hate Life is Strange. Like I understand how people feel about the series, but I don't know. I guess I don't feel like it has never hurt me. It's one of those. How can I hate something that has never hurt me, you know? So we pretty much saw the reveal of Phil, what Phil's spending, and we also start to question a lot of things like ODS Coffee and a lot of mods leaving, and it's obviously Phil was also revealed his Nazi hat, and it was Phil really becoming worse at his own job. And that's kind of where we catch ourselves up to date. Phil skipping games now again. There is still a lot of things going on. And we're hoping we know what Phil been doing. We know what Phil been spending, and Phil still keeps on trying to have this hardcore gaming season. He's skipping games, so it really does come to the point where it seems like Phil is hoping that he gets back on Twitch, but we'll see what happens. He's skipping games. He is gung-ho even to that console of his Xbox 3, that chair he had, which is going to break soon, and that laptop to waste. And the fact that Phil's been getting a lot more frustrated and letting games hurt him is showing that kind of thing. Like recently with Super Monkey Balls, he's having frustration to a children's game. And also he says duty, monkey duty, banana duty. God, he's such a child. So that's pretty much up to date. So far, we can say Phil's streams are getting bad. Like he has been getting days where he's getting low tips. I forgot to bring up his date. We had only like $7 a night, one night. And he has been seeing some nights he hasn't been hitting tips goal. So we don't know for sure if it's going to be the leaks that's going to make a big deal of everything or not. So that's the DSP stuff. So let's talk about, so that's out of the way, let's talk about what I'm up to this month going into November, December. So right now I am currently trying to get all my parts to my playthroughs uploaded onto my YouTube channel. I am found a way to make a simple thumbnail, and I am currently working on bring Neo Words of You, which I need to get all those parts up. Scarlet Nexus and Tales of Arise. I am finished with Tales of Arise when it comes to the first half. So I finished the Five Lord portion of the story. So I'm gonna go into the Dana arc soon, and there's gonna be a lot to see what's gonna happen in that game, and I can't wait to continue on. We got the announcement of the Sword Art Online collaboration, which I can't wait to play that. I'll probably be picking up after I am done with AWA. I'm not spending much right now. I pretty much have my limit of DLC I bought is probably like $30 at most. I don't really go as hard. I don't really spend as much on DLC. So I spent probably a good bit, but that was mostly just to kind of catch myself up a little bit more on the game. We've also been seeing a lot more, detractors. A lot of people begin to really bring their name to the game and start to really bring themselves into like the spotlight. Which I'm glad. I'm glad that we're seeing a much more, and we're seeing a bigger wave of people who are taking it. I hope that we will have anyone that burns himself out too quickly. So my schedule is I am also streaming a little bit more. I can stream, so I just did my first stream, which I just played. I worked on Train Memories, and I had to get that game a little bit done because I just needed to finish up Twilight Town, and I had to finish the Vexen fight and Twilight Town, which mostly me trying to get through that fight because that's one of the hardest fights. But that was me trying to get through the game, and I'm happy to finally get through that one. So now let's go. That's pretty much my own schedule on what I'm up to. And what's gonna be Phil's playthrough going into November and December. So let's take a gander of these October releases, and see what is going to be our thing. Phil is going to play Super Monkey Ball. So Phil plays Super Monkey Ball and Blitz. He seems like he's going to play Nintendo All Stars Brawl. So that's going to be a shit show. So it's going to be as bad as you might think, because Phil in fighting games Phil's only fighting game he seems like he only cares about is Street Fighter, classic Street Fighter, but even that is getting, like, I don't know how he enjoys it, but it's clear that he probably it's stuck with him forever. But let's see. But I think Phil play. I think Phil might go play. He probably will play the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. That's coming out in October 31st. He might play Guardians of the Galaxy, and he might play Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. I think he's gonna probably play that during his October Halloween stream, which But on the same day he's gonna be doing it, I'm going to be at AWA, so I won't be seeing the I won't be seeing I won't be seeing it until I get home. So I'm gonna miss the shit show. He might play Mario Party Superstars, but I feel like Joe's gonna try his best to avoid playing the Switch. Going to November, I think he obviously gonna try to play Forza, obviously. You know, on the Series X. He might. He's gonna. He might skip. He's gonna probably skip. He's obviously gonna skip Stream Gun 55. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. He's gonna play those. Maybe, but I doubt it. December, there's not really much because it starts to wind down. So I don't see. And if he might play Halo Infinite, he might be playing that. But after that, we really have no other games he's playing. So again, what am I up to again? I am gonna be playing some games. I am gonna be trying to get through a lot of my games. My only major releases I'm picking up is Shin 5 and Bird Dive Shining Pearl. And any other games I might be picking up, I might just leave those to like games I might ask for Christmas or buy during Black Friday. And that's really it. I just wanted to do a major update. I was kind of rambling on trying to remember everything that happened. And if anything I did miss, and obviously Phil has asked the king as of the recording of this video, but nothing came out of that one, apart from the usual shit show of it is. Like, Phil's not boring. Like, Phil doesn't bore me, but it's like, yeesh, I want something cool to talk about, you know? Like, if I really want to see his ego to ask the king, I would have seen that, but nothing was. Even apart from the fact that some people are getting hit by Super Hound Super Hound and other people, like Phil is like it's hip to say Phil is going to try to silence people, but who knows? Phil did try to make the whole cat birthday about himself, Burger King, and the fact that we now know what he's spending, it's safe to say we are going to maybe be seeing a bigger decline in Phil's bill. He also had a hat where he also started having hats where he was the one number revealed to be a Nazi, and this is really starting to show Phil has really become the very thing he mocks, where he's doing all these gimmicks, but nothing is doing anything that's really a reward for fans. Skipping games, being rage quitting games, acting toxic, slamming controllers down. Like, if he is happy that his floor has a carpet, he would have broken his controller by now. We are seeing that fear and anger coming out from Phil in that we haven't seen in like a while. So, let's see how this rest of the year goes. It's gonna be very interesting how Phil will talk about 2021. He's gonna try to really, once we get to Thanksgiving, gonna make it really like it's been a hard year, guys. But next year I've been having it be crowdfunded. Oh, cry me a fucking river. And I don't even swear much on these videos, apart from shit. So, that's all. This video was kind of fun to do. I kind of need something to talk about. I really need something to take the mind off that I'm still trying to finish up all my playthroughs. So I'll see you next time. I'll probably have another update video around Thanksgiving. I will update you what Phil was talking about, and we'll see what crazy purchases Phil makes. Who knows? Phil probably might have an OLED for all we know. I should kind of drink myself. Why would I care? He hates Nintendo. So, this is OpkiRox99 signing off, and take care. Have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are on this big Barbo Dirt and Water yard. Later.